Hello and welcome to the Ice Guys. This is the show that takes you into the world of the National Hockey League. Every game, every day, from a betting perspective. With pro sports handicappers, Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, and various guests from the world of hockey and sports betting. And now, here's your host, Ian Cameron.
Welcome to the Ice Guys, Wednesday, December 10th. Ian Cameron solo today on this edition of the show and ready to break down the Wednesday card where we have 4 games on tap tonight, including another TNT doubleheader. Shout out to TNT and Turner Sports. Back-to-back doubleheaders. They're doing this a lot more often this year with the extra, open window of programming they have now that they don't do NBA anymore on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They're giving the NHL another night every week for the most part. So a doubleheader last night for TNT and another one tonight. So great job by them, giving everybody, the national audience and hockey fans coast to coast in the United States, a lot more live hockey to watch. Just me today. Alex will be back tomorrow on the Thursday edition. Let's recap Tuesday's card, and this was quite simply the night of nights. It was a spectacular betting night. It was just phenomenal, top to bottom. What more can you say? Cashed but the majority of the pregame bets, sides, totals. We had a bargain bin special winner from yours truly with Colin Graff of the San Jose Sharks, plus 600. So did Matt Robinson. He was on that same bet as a bargain bin special on the show yesterday. So Matty and I thrilled to cash that, and I just wish I had taken him to score the first goal of the game because he got the first goal of the game for the San Jose Sharks. But Colin Graff, we talked about it, multi-game goal streak, playing on the top line with Celebrini and Will Smith. We thought it was great value, and certainly it came through. So that was absolutely awesome to see that, which was great. And how about Alex B. Smith? Esa Lindell, plus 1,000, 10-1. Opening the scoring. Now, he had just had him to score a goal. Could you imagine if he had taken him first goal? But like I said, a terrific call there. Alex had a bargain bin special winner, too, with Esa Lindell there, 10-1 for the Dallas Stars to open the scoring for them last night against Winnipeg. It was just a brilliant night. A best bet, which didn't look good at one point, and we'll get to that. Anaheim, they come back and they win in a shootout 4-3, so it was just a spectacular night. Majority of the pregame bets won. We hit a bargain bin special. What more can you ask for? And I said it on Twitter. I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just being honest here when I say it. You either have to be dumb, hate hockey, or just hate winners or don't want to make money if you're not watching this show. I'm serious. Like I don't know how you don't enjoy this show or don't want to watch this show if you do not fall into any of those categories. If you're not dumb, if you love hockey, and if you want to make money, you should be here every day with us here on the Ice Guys Show. But it was a spectacular night. So excited about the way things went. Let's recap. A lot of games, so we'll try to go through them in quick hitter style. This is going to be a short show today. Philadelphia, 4-1 win against San Jose. And look, I had the over by Fecta, but I did mention on the show yesterday with this Sharks-Flyers game that I much preferred the first period over, and that did cash in. So it was a profitable result from this game because I had certainly a little bit more money on the first period over as opposed to the full game over. Nice win for Philadelphia, 4-1. Keep an eye on this San Jose pattern. We've talked about this. They've been great off a loss, but they've been awful after a victory. And, of course, they won against Carolina in their last game. And, again, predictably, with the way things have gone for the Sharks lately, it's been win one, lose one, win one, lose one. That's kind of been their pattern. They've been good off a loss, bad off a win. And that pattern continued last night with the 4-1 loss to the Philadelphia Flyers in that game. Like I said, unbelievable turn of events with the Anaheim Ducks last night against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were down 3-2. They took a penalty as well with just seconds left in that game. Face-off, obviously, in the Anaheim zone. You thought it was over. And somehow they go down the ice, and it goes off Erik Karlsson in front of the net. The goal gets credited to Seneca, which cast a goal prop for me as well. Beckett Seneca getting credit for that 3-3 game-tying goal, and then Anaheim wins it in the shootout. Leo Carlsson gets the only shootout goal. What a shot it was, too. Right bar down, right under the crossbar roof job to beat Shilovs. And an Anaheim 4-3 shootout win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. What a game Vegas and the Islanders was, the first of the two games on TNT last night. 5-4 shootout win for the New York Islanders. Give them credit. After a rough start to the homestand, Islanders heating up again. Very, very solid victory for them last night against the Vegas Golden Knights, winning that one 5-4. New Jersey, the offense, it's alive. It's alive. Yes, it is. The offense finally came to life for the New Jersey Devils in their 4-3 win over the Ottawa Senators. They stopped the losing streak, and we thought New Jersey was in rough shape. Now Ottawa's the team that's in really rough shape. This team's just won once in 6 games since Brady Tkachuk, the captain, returned. They definitely miss Shane Pinto. They miss Thomas Chabot. It's clear that they are having, some issues really in terms of getting hemmed in. D-zone coverage hasn't been great. They miss Chabot in various different avenues right now. So when you look at Ottawa, definitely they're having their issues. But credit to New Jersey, desperately needed a win, and they got one. And boy, I'm sure it's a relief for Sheldon Keefe, for everyone on that New Jersey team, to see the puck go in the net, because it has not happened for them very often, seeing the goals light up the scoreboard like it did last night. Carolina 4-1 against Columbus. They gave up the first goal, but they got 4 unanswered after that. I was on the over by Fecta here, which lost as the game stayed under first period and full game. But I did have the Carolina team total over 3.5. That did hit. And I did mention I was a little worried about it because of the goalies, Jet Greaves and Brandon Bussey. Jet Greaves is the best goalie Columbus has right now, and he played well even in the loss. And how about Brandon Bussey? Another solid start from him. I'm telling you, he is giving Rod Brindamore something to think about. And, you should obviously, you would think he's going to really defer to Anderson and Kochetkov, who have been here longer. But Brandon Bussey, man, he's playing well. And there's been way more than a little bit of struggle lately for both Kochetkov and Anderson. Chinks in the armor, not playing consistent one game to the next. So very interesting to see how the goaltending situation works itself out moving forward in Carolina, because Brandon Bussey is certainly making a name for himself. I mean, when you win 9 of your first 10 starts this season in the NHL with Carolina, you're doing something right. And like I said, for Brandon Bussey, very, very impressive stuff, and a 4-1 win for Carolina last night in that game. Meanwhile, we go from goaltending that was great to goaltending that was not so great. Montreal, whew, gosh, what a brutal night for Jakub Dobeš, and it wasn't any better when Sam Montembeault replaced him. Just some wretched goaltending, not great defensive play either, but they ran into Tampa at the wrong time. Tampa off back-to-back shutout losses. Kucherov and Point both looked a lot more cohesive last night. 6-1 beat down over Tampa. We had the first period full game over in this game. Full game over in this game was almost my best bet. I liked it quite a bit. I got to give Halverson credit. He played pretty solid. Wasn't tested as much as I'm sure he would be in future starts, but you got to give him credit. He was solid, and it was just an awful night for Montreal defensively, and especially the goaltending. Some of those goals, you just got to get a save on it. And the Montreal Canadiens aren't waiting around anymore. Like, Montembeault's been a mess all year. Dobeš started the season well, but his play has really declined steeply in the last couple of weeks. They have called up the kid wonder, the phenom, the future in net, deemed by many, Jacob Fowler from Laval in the American Hockey League. And it's not all the goal. Like, Montreal's got to defend better as a team, but there's still a lot of routine saves that neither of these goalies are making right now, Dobeš or Montembeault. And the hope is Jacob Fowler is going to be able to give them some more steady, reliable goaltending. He's played well in Laval this year, but as we always say, when you're transitioning to the NHL and you got a team that defensively is playing with a little bit of a crisis of confidence right now, it's no sure thing that Jacob Fowler is going to be the answer. But I think you at least have to give it a shot, because I don't know how much longer you can go running out Dobeš and Montembeault right now. These two guys just are fighting the puck, lacking confidence. Really, really, you can see it that they're struggling right now, have lost a great deal of confidence in recent starts. So, we'll see how this goes as Jacob Fowler gets the summons from the American Hockey League. Dallas beats Winnipeg 4-3. Great effort by the Jets to try to come back in that one, but the comeback bid falls short. Dallas just keeps on keeping on, and don't look now. Not only have they been able to win all these games and still play well the last few weeks with a bunch of injuries, but now you have Duchesne back. Last night, you get Thomas Harley back. Look out, for the Dallas Stars now, 4-3, and right on the heels of the Colorado Avalanche, who lost last night to the Nashville Predators 4-3 in a shootout. And we warned you, Colorado's had some tough times over the years in Nashville, and last night they fall short. Saros was great, by the way, in net. You got to give him a lot of credit. He was excellent. It's a big reason why Nashville won. Colorado did carry the play, but like I said, weren't able to cash in enough. Boston beat St. Louis 5-2. The Blues, after a nice little 2-game win streak on the road over the weekend, beating Ottawa and Montreal, come back home and can't keep it going. Boston with a nice victory there, 5-2 over the Blues. And the Buffalo Sabres, man, they put their fan base through the torture chamber, do they not? Boy, oh boy, 3-0 against Edmonton. And you thought, oh, well, wow, typical Buffalo, right? Lose to Calgary, look terrible, and they're going to bounce back and shock everybody and beat Edmonton last night. And then Edmonton says, hold on now, 3-1, 3-2, an unbelievable tying goal, 3-3 by Connor McDavid with 1 second left. But credit to Buffalo. They rescued themselves. I don't know if they rescued themselves or Evan Bouchard and the Oilers, 3-on-3 team defense rescued Buffalo, because that was atrocious defending. How Alex Tuch is left all alone one-on-one with Skinner in front is just totally absurd. Brutal stuff. Not to mention, it was another fucking just pitiful night defensively for Evan Bouchard. What about the second Buffalo goal? He basically says, you know what, Tage Thompson, here you go. Here's the puck. Go score a goal. Just basically put it right on his tape to make it 2-0 Buffalo. Horrific stuff from Evan Bouchard and the Oilers. They were outplayed significantly in the last 2 periods. When you only play one good period of hockey, you deserve to lose. So good on Buffalo for hanging on. Again, it should never have gotten to overtime, but that's what you get sometimes with Buffalo. But they do survive, and they do get the 4-3 win there against Edmonton. And one last thing I'll say about last night before we move on to Wednesday. How about last night, for the first time, I believe they had said it, first time in NHL history that we've had 4 games where the team trailing in the last 30 seconds of the third period tied the game and forced overtime. It happened 4 times last night. 4 games where there was a game-tying goal to force overtime in the last 15 to 20 seconds of the third period. Vegas tied it with the Islanders late in the third in the final seconds. Anaheim did it with 1 second left against Pittsburgh. We saw Edmonton do it against Buffalo last night as well. And then there was one more. Vegas, Anaheim. I'm just trying to think what the other one was. Yeah, Edmonton. Oh, yeah, of course, the late game. Colorado against Nashville. Colorado tied it with the power play and the extra attacker in the final seconds. So 4 different games last night go to overtime thanks to a game-tying goal in the latter seconds of the third period. Pretty amazing stuff. And I know there was a comment from one of our YouTube viewers on the YouTube comments below yesterday's show. And obviously it was a great day for the draws. And I know our good friend of the show, Chris, draw bets yesterday. Unfortunately, I only hit one, which was Vegas, New York Islanders, and Alex had that as well. But yeah, Jack Magic Live in the YouTube comments below yesterday's show said, okay, the overtime stuff is not a joke anymore. I put my normal unit size on Knights Islanders draw just because of history, and we smacked. That's how confident I am in some of these overtime spots. I'm telling you what, we're converting people to the draw bets, one Ice Guys viewer and listener at a time. We're not saying it to be repetitive. We're saying it because these are legit positive expectation wagers, especially when you can see in matchups that you think could be close, East versus West teams, where the 2 teams don't really care that the other team gets a point. So it's great to see people endorsing and embracing the draw bets. Why wouldn't you when you can cash, draw bets at prices like plus 300 or better? And certainly we've been able to do that over the years. All right, let's get into Wednesday's NHL card. We will begin with the first game of another TNT doubleheader. New York Rangers, Chicago Blackhawks. Rangers minus 140, road favorites, 5.5 the total, 6 in some spots. I had to look this up because just off the top of my head, when I was looking into these games, especially the TNT games, I said, boy, it feels like most of these TNT games have been higher scoring, have been going over the total. It just felt that way. I knew it had been a strong run to the over in TNT games this season, but I had to actually look it up and get the exact numbers, the exact record of TNT games this year as far as totals. NHL on TNT games this season have gone 13-6-1 to the over. So we've had 20 NHL on TNT national TV games, 13-6-1 to the over. We have had 9 straight overs, a 9-0 over run in TNT games since November 12th. The last NHL on TNT game to go under the total was Anaheim, Colorado on November 11th. We have had none since then. Not a single TNT game since then has gone under the total. 9 straight overs, 13-6-1 to the over for TNT games. And Matt Robinson, is the guy that was onto this. He's the one that said over, since his time being on this show, that he feels most of these TNT games go over, and the numbers back it up. So I'm not saying blindly bet this game or any TNT game over, but it certainly does give you some pause right now for maybe taking an under in a TNT game. All that being said, I do like the over in this game at 5.5, and for a couple of different reasons. Number one is both teams are off multiple losses. I expect aggression offensively from both squads. I think there could be some defensive lapses too. Chicago's off the road trip. I don't know if they're going to be airtight defensively here. They certainly haven't been airtight defensively lately. They've given up 3 goals or more in 6 of their last 7 games. The New York Rangers, as we know, they can't score goals at home, but they are certainly a higher scoring, better offensive team on the road. They've shown it this year. 9 of the Rangers' 17 road games have had at least 6 goals, which is significant with this total being 5.5. We've seen 3 of the last 4 Ranger games also have 6 or more goals and go over the total. 3 straight Chicago home games have gone over the total. Series history. Talked about series history overs. For the most part, those have been cashing. 7-3 to the over in the last 10 meetings, Rangers Blackhawks. 5-0 to the over in the last 5 meetings between them here in Chicago. 5 straight games, Rangers Blackhawks here in Chicago have gone over the total. Shesterkin should be in net for the Rangers. Spencer Knight projected for Chicago. Not confirmed as of yet, but we do expect him to be in net for the Blackhawks here in this game. Very interesting that they sent down Sam Renzel to the minors. I could see that coming. I think you could see he was not playing like he did in the first, few games of the season, and just get more seasoning, get a little more chance to work on your game down at the AHL level. So I definitely don't mind that. This is an interesting spot where, Rangers, I expect to come out strong and hard. You got to believe Chicago will. But the thing with Chicago is I worry a little bit about coming off the road trip. Now, this is not the load up and fade the team coming home off a road trip spot that it sometimes can be, because I'm really looking to target the longer road trips. Chicago didn't have a very long road trip. This was a pretty short one. They played in Vegas, they played in LA twice, and then they played in Anaheim. So it was not that long of a road trip. Not to mention they stayed in, after they left Vegas, you stay in LA, and then you're in LA, Anaheim. You really don't have any air travel. You probably stay in the same damn hotel as well. So it's not that arduous or taxing of a road trip here for Chicago. So they might have more energy coming home off a road trip than teams would, say if they had a longer road trip. So I like this full game over. It's really the only thing I bet in this game. Don't have a strong opinion on the side. I think there might be some value with Chicago at plus 120, but like I said, Rangers have been better on the road. They're off 2 losses in a row, and I thought they played admirably in their losses against very good teams over the weekend, Colorado and Vegas, and they took both of them to overtime. And if you buy into that, both of those games go to overtime. Maybe you sprinkle on the draw. I might do that here. Little draw sprinkle. Again, East versus West. Neither of these teams are going to care that the other team gets a point. So that could be something I look at here in this game tonight. As far as props go, Lafreniere is streaky. He finally scored the last game. Maybe that gets him going. Tyler Bertuzzi might be worth a look here for props for Chicago. Ryan Green and Burakovsky and Oliver Moore, are players that maybe I would throw out there to maybe consider as well on the Chicago side of the equation as far as a goal prop is concerned. But yeah, for me, like I said, Lafreniere streaky, finally scored against Vegas on Sunday. Maybe that gets him going just a little bit. All right, Detroit, Calgary. Next up, Detroit, that's actually even money here. Minus 110 both sides in this game. And the total right now sitting at, it looks like right around 6 shaded to the over here in this game. I will let you know, too, what Alex's card is. Alex is on the first period over in the New York Rangers and Chicago Blackhawks. He did send me his card, knowing he wasn't going to be on the show today. So he's on first period over with the Rangers and the Blackhawks. He's on the full game over here. I haven't moved on the full game over yet, but it's certainly the only way I would play the total, is looking toward the full game over here in this game, Red Wings and Flames. We do know Devin Cooley is going to get the start here for the Calgary Flames tonight in this game. And Devin Cooley has cooled off. No, I didn't mean to say, I didn't mean for that, but there you go. Devin Cooley has cooled off a little bit here. He's cooled off, if you will, in the last few games that we've seen him in between the pipes. Overall, though, he's still been a very pleasant surprise for this Calgary Flames team. He certainly played better than a lot of people expected. He will be in net. Cam Talbot's projected. Now, I don't know, because Cam Talbot's a former Oiler. And you play Edmonton tomorrow night. This is the front end of a back-to-back for Detroit. They're in Edmonton tomorrow night. Do they save Talbot for that? And do they ride the red-hot John Gibson, who has played pretty well here in his last few starts? He's coming off a shutout against Vancouver over in his last game on Monday. So we'll see where they go as far as the goaltending on the Detroit side of the equation. Like I said, with Cooley, he's given up three goals or more in 2 of his last 3 starts. He did have a good performance in a loss to Carolina, only gave up 1 goal, and overall the numbers are still good. 2.17 goals against, .920 save percentage. Detroit's been trending over, but they did finally stay under in their last game against Vancouver with that shutout win 4-0. So does that kind of go the other way now? And that was a Gibson start, though. If it's Talbot, and Talbot has had a rough go of it of late. That's the reason why Todd McClellan has shifted a little bit more to Gibson, because Talbot, in his last 4 appearances, is winless with a 3.94 goals against and .838 save percentage. So lean over here in this game, but it's not a strong opinion that I have on that. As far as the side goes, say this about Calgary. They've played, they've won 3 in a row on this homestand. Detroit's obviously won 2 straight on their road trip against Seattle and Vancouver. So, yeah, I don't feel strongly about the side either way. Lean over. You know what I do like in this game is some props, and one in particular. We've talked about it. We've been betting it, and we got to bet them. We got to bet the old veteran once again, who has found the fountain of youth and a 4-game goal streak for the Detroit Red Wings. And you know who I'm talking about. JVR, James Van Riemsdyk, James Van Beesbrook, as Don Cherry would say. And you can still get him above plus 500 as far as a goal prop. He has been, like I said, he has found a little late in his career goal scoring surge here. Plus 500, plus 525 in some spots for James Van Riemsdyk for the Detroit Red Wings to score a goal. Again, 4 straight games with a goal. We've mentioned a couple times now taking him to find the back of the net. So like I said, definitely think you just keep riding it now. Until he stops scoring at this point. A couple other interesting goal streaks with value. Yegor Sharangovich is maddening. He's not good at all defensively. He doesn't play physical, but he's a good goal scorer when he gets going. And maybe a sign of him finally getting that goal scoring touch back again. 2 straight games with a goal for Yegor Sharangovich for Calgary, so he might be worth a look. And Andrew Kopp for Detroit, depth center for this team. He's scored in back-to-back games for the Detroit Red Wings. So maybe you give him a look. And Andrew Kopp, by the way, is now with DeBrincat and Kane on the second line for Detroit. So not only value, but he's obviously making the most of, being on the second line instead of the third line, scoring in back-to-back games. So Andrew Kopp, might be worth a look here as far as a goal prop on the Detroit side for this game tonight. All right, next up, we've got Florida taking on Utah and the struggling Utah Mammoth. We've got Florida minus 115 road favorites, 5.5, 6 the total here in this game. Again, this is one of those totals where it's split. Some books have 5.5 and some have 6. So make sure you shop around and find the total that you prefer the most here in this game. This one I lean a little bit at 5.5 to the over, just because Florida has, let's be honest, Florida has not been the same defensive team. That's why they've been languishing near the bottom of the Atlantic Division most of the season. They've struggled to keep the puck out of their net. They have allowed 3 goals or more, this Florida Panthers team, in, let me count it up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their last 8 games. That isn't very good. But now the offense is starting to come around. Carter Verhaeghe, since becoming a new father, he's been heating up since he returned to the lineup. Getting E2 Kuhlman Lusterinen back over the weekend for Florida helps them out. And so, like, they're crying out for anybody, from their long list of injuries to come back. And, to get Lusterinen back, certainly significant for this Florida team. And now they've got a little confidence as they take the road for the beginning of this road trip. Back-to-back wins at home over Columbus and the New York Islanders over the weekend, beating Columbus 7-6 and the Islanders 4-1. We'll see if they can carry that momentum forward to Utah here against the Mammoth, who continue to struggle. Just 2-6 in their last 8 games. They did win back-to-back on the road against Anaheim and Vancouver, but have now dropped 2 in a row. They lost the final game of the trip against Calgary, and they come back home, and we were all over L.A. the other night against Utah because it was a terrible spot for the Mammoth. First game home after that 6-game road trip, and they lose 4-2 to the L.A. Kings in that game. I just think right now Utah and the loss of Logan Cooley, we cannot understate that, how big of a loss that is for Utah. This is a guy that's leading them in goals, that's third in points on the team at the moment, and to lose him now for an extended period of time is not at all what you want to see. Like I said, certainly, to be third on the team with 23 points, and like I said, their leading goal scorer at 14, and out indefinitely now with that lower body injury. So it just means everyone else for Utah has to step up, and it's a team that's found it tough sledding to score even with Logan Cooley in the lineup. And now in the last 2 games, you see them just with the 2 goals in their last 2 games combined. I'm going to take Florida here. Cheap price, -115. Now, my one concern here is Florida's road record's not good, 4-6 on the road. But so many of those road games were, earlier in the season. Florida's played 9 of their last 10 games at home. They've played 1 road game in their last 10 games, and it was an 8-3 win against Nashville on the road. So all of Florida's road games that make up the 4-6 road record, they were in October or early November. Well, that's when Florida was at their worst, at their most vulnerable, at their most depleted by injuries. Now they're starting to get some bodies back. So take that 4-6 with a grain of salt. When they went 4-6 in the 10 road games, all of those games being in October and early November, that's a long way removed from Florida where they're at right now. And I sense Florida starting to put their foundation back together again with winning those 2 games over the weekend. And I think they could build on that. And I think they sense this road trip as an opportunity to really get a foot back in the door as far as the wild card race is concerned in the wide open Eastern Conference. So I'm going to take Florida in this spot, -115, slight road favorite. I think at this price, they're worth a shot to see if they can build on this momentum. We'll see if it's Tarasov or Bobrovsky. That hasn't been confirmed as of yet. Vejmelka is projected for Utah, and he's had a tough go of late. So I like Florida at this price, small road favorite. As far as props for this Florida and Utah game, Carter Verhaeghe, like I said, you're not getting bargain bin, but boy, oh boy, he scored in every game, I believe, since he's been back in the lineup after becoming a father. So he's feeling it. The dad bump is real for Carter Verhaeghe. Seth Jones has scored in back-to-back games for the Florida Panthers, and you can get 11-1 for Seth Jones, maybe to make it 3 in a row as far as scoring a goal. So that might be something to keep an eye on here for the Panthers in this game. Utah struggled to score, so I'm not going to be too wild about their props, but I would keep it pretty simple here. Dylan Guenther, Peterka, and the captain, Clayton Keller. And boy, was that, they lost the game to L.A., but it was still a great moment to see Clayton Keller in front of the home fans score a goal the other night against Los Angeles, get on the board with everything he's had to deal with, the passing of his father just recently. So that was a real cool moment the other night for Clayton Keller. Even though in a losing cause, to see him find the back of the net at home was a nice little moment there. All right, our last game. This is also a TNT game, the second of the TNT doubleheader, Los Angeles and Seattle. We have the Kings here, -145 road favorites in this game, and the total sitting at, it looks like 5.5 shaded to the under in this game. This is my one game on the card where it's like, I really don't want to bet this game, and I have very little interest betting this game. And I cashed a ticket with LA multiple ways. We were on the first goal of the first period, LA first period money line, LA full game money line against Utah. But that was every bit fading Utah and betting against Utah in a tough spot, as it was backing LA. Now we've got the Kings here laying at what, minus 145, minus 150. Absolutely not. Not at this price am I taking the Los Angeles Kings. I know they've now won 2 in a row, little signs of life here, and they've played well on the road this year, 10 wins, 2 regulation losses on the road, 4 overtime or shootout losses. They play better on the road than they've played at home. Seattle is in a bad way right now. They've lost 6 in a row. They've lost their defensive foundation. They've given up 3 goals or more in 5 of their last 6 losses. And they've given up 4 goals or more in 4 straight games, all of them losses. So Seattle, all of a sudden, the one thing you could usually count on them is to be decent defensively, and you can't anymore. Their defensive game has been not so good. Joey Decord has struggled of late. Philip Grubauer, who's also seen some time in net. You can't trust him, to keep the puck out of the net. So, yeah, it's hard to back Seattle. They're really struggling mightily right now. The series has gone back and forth, 5-5 in the 10 meetings. LA did win in Seattle last year, 6-5, but Seattle won. Actually, they split the 4 meetings last year, and each team won once at home and once on the road. So it's a tough game, right? I mean, it's hard for me to back Seattle. They're not playing well, but it's just not the price I want LA. So pretty easy pass, maybe a lean to the draw. I know the TNT games have gone over 9 straight, 13-6-1 to the over on the season, but I have a hard time betting this game over the total. I got to be honest. I mean, maybe it does, though, because Seattle's not defending as much, but, I could see this being lower scoring. But again, beware if you like the under. These TNT games are on a 9 consecutive game over streak for NHL on TNT games entering tonight. The only props I'm really interested in here in this game, and I think we've talked about this on a couple of occasions, is Laferriere has been on the top line for the LA Kings of late. So it's probably worth a look. Him with Kopitar and Kempe. Armia and Fiala with Byfield could be something to look at here in this game as well. I've liked their play, certainly the last couple of games. And it's hard to find someone to step up offensively for Seattle right now. But Mason Marchment's up on the second line, so I think he's overdue to find the back of the net. So maybe take a shot with him in this game tonight. There you have it. That's the Wednesday card. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, appreciate it very much. What a friggin' night it was betting-wise last night for the Tuesday card. Bargain bin specials, multiple bargain bin specials cashing in, best bets cashing in, majority of the pregame bets cashing in. And remember, these all get posted on the Patreon page. So you should be a Patreon member. You're missing out with the card getting posted there each and every day on the Patreon page. So make sure you get on board there. Get on board wizardsportspicks.com. What a run it's been there. 3-0 NHL sweep last night, 6-2 all sports at Wizard Sports Picks on Tuesday. Just a terrific long-term all sports streak on the website. We'll be looking to keep it rolling tonight. We've got NHL, NBA Cup, college basketball, premium picks available from yours truly for this Wednesday at the website. So make sure you check it out, wizardsportspicks.com. I'm there, Alex B. Smith, Matt Robinson, tons of great handicappers. So make sure you check that out, wizardsportspicks.com. 28-13, 67% all sports streak entering tonight. We'll look to see if we can keep that going. Check it out. Get on board with premium picks daily at wizardsportspicks.com. And check out patreon.com/Ice Guys. Again, the Patreon card was tremendous last night. So get on board, $10 per month, goalie charts, totals charts, all our bonus content, access to the Patreon exclusive live betcasts. And of course, you get our daily betting card, sides, totals, player props posted each and every day on the Patreon page. Check it out. Sign up if you haven't already. Your $10 per month subscription and membership goes a long way to supporting the show and keeping it going long term. So check it out. $10 per month, patreon.com/Ice Guys. And check out the Ice Guys store, iceguys.myspreadshop.com. Get your order in now. Christmas is right around the corner. To make sure your gear and your merch arrives at your doorstep so you can put it under the tree. Now's the time to place your order. So check out the Ice Guys store. Get some great gear and merch for the holiday season at iceguys.myspreadshop.com. All right, bargain bin special of the night and best bets coming up right after we hear from our great Ice Guys sponsors.
Wizard Sports Picks, featuring the finest handicappers in the universe. Sharp insights, trusted picks, and relentless results. We strive to help you become consistent winners. This is Wizard Sports Picks.
Kings and queens shop.
Thanks to all our sponsors, including Royal Cannabis. Check it out, royalcannabisshop.com, 20% off with the promo code Ice Guys. All right, bargain bin special of the night. I mean, what the hell do we do for an encore here? I mean, 2 bargain bin specials, one from me, one from Alex last night. We'll see if we can build on that. For me, it was Colin Graff. Oh, Matt Robinson, too, of course. He had Colin Graff, San Jose. So we both had Colin Graff for San Jose. Matt and I, Alex with Essa Lindell for Dallas. We'll start with Alex B. Smith. His bargain bin for tonight, going to go to, as you would expect, the Rangers-Blackhawks game for Alex with the bargain bin special. Ilya Mikheyev, plus 430 for the Chicago Blackhawks for Alex B. Smith with his bargain bin special of the night. Ilya Mikheyev, Chicago, plus 430 for his bargain bin special of the night. My bargain bin special of the night, it's the clear choice. To me, it's the only choice. James Van Riemsdyk, Detroit Red Wings, plus 500 is the best price currently available. Right on the button, plus 500. This guy has rediscovered his offensive prowess, looking for his 5th straight game with a goal. Great price, plus 500. Let's go with James Van Riemsdyk for the Detroit Red Wings for my bargain bin special of the night. Before we get to best bets, Alex's card outside of best bets, Detroit Calgary over 6. He likes the draw in Florida Utah at plus 320, as well as the draw with LA Seattle also at plus 320. Best bets, Alex's best bet. He is going to go to that Rangers Blackhawks game, and he likes the first period over. So New York Rangers, Chicago, over 1.5, minus 125, first period. Best bet for Alex B. Smith. My best bet, we haven't used this team as a best bet. You know, we had a side winner last night with Anaheim. Most of my best bets are totals, but I'm going to go with a side winner tonight for best bet. Momentum. I haven't used this team as a while for best bet. I haven't wanted to, but I think tonight might be the night. Florida Panthers, minus 115 against Utah. They're building some momentum. 2 wins in a row at home. Utah is just floundering right now. Can't score goals. Now they've lost Logan Cooley. I think it's a chance for this Florida team to really start to build some momentum and try to gain ground back and get their way back into the Atlantic Division and wild card race. So I like Florida here in this spot. By the way, they swept the season series last year, winning both meetings against the Utah Mammoth. So Florida, minus 115 against Utah for my best bet for this Wednesday card. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button. We appreciate it very much. Thanks for tuning in. A reminder, we're back live tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. And if you can't watch the show live, download the Ice Guys podcast in audio form on all major podcast platforms, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and more. Download the Ice Guys podcast when you can't watch the show live. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will be back tomorrow on Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, for another edition of the Ice Guys.